Hey guys, it's Bonafide TCG here, and here today I'm going to be talking to you about Zen and how I went undefeated with him on my local armory. Now, just to let you know that my local armory is very competitive, and I'm really surprised that he actually pulled a win here. I'm going to go over with some tech choices, some card choices, and what was my game plan and strategy that I used to basically win undefeated. So I guess let's get started, alright? Right here, I'm starting off with Strat Reprisal. I'm not running the Pouncing Pause, just for the fact that Strat Reprisal allows me to create a Crouching Tiger in my hand. There's going to be some synergies I'm going to be going over in a minute about why I chose this, but this is my boots of choice for Zen in the main board. Next, one of the best arm pieces for ninjas at the moment is the Tiger Stripe Shuko, just for the fact that a lot of people are saying Enigma is going to be the best deck in the format. For you to defeat her, for the most part, you would need something that has an unpreventable damage. With this arm piece right here, it allows Zen to basically push that point where it's asking for Enigma to block. Also, Zen is really good at basically poking at Enigma with multiple wide attacks, especially with the Crouching Tigers coming in for one. So it makes it very awkward blocks for Enigma when it's like coming for like 2 unpreventable, or with the other combo cards that have 2 power breakpoints, which I'll go over in a minute. And of course, I'm running the Tiger Tame Kakara because just for the fact that it gives my Crouching Tiger +1. It's one of the main weapon equipment you're going to be using for Zen, just because it's more like a tiger line now instead of like the combo line. And one of the best headpiece that you gotta run with almost all the Mystic heroes here would be the Traverse the Universe, just for the fact that Traverse allows you to basically get 2 cards in Zen while blocking. It basically gives you a chi. It turns on your ability to search for the right combo pieces. Just look at Traverse as basically a 2-card headpiece. Next, 12-Petal Kasaya. Again, one of the best equipment for the chest for Zen, just for the fact that it allows to create you the Zen State token. Really good against the Runeblade players. And the fact that when you transcend you get free chi, this could sometimes net you like what, 1 chi, 2 chis. It's a really strong chess equipment for Zen, and it's pretty cheap now too, so surprisingly. So if you're thinking of playing Zen, get yourself a 12-Petal Kasaya. It's a really good chess piece. Now I'm gonna go over with like the meat of the damage from Zen, and this is basically his bread and butter combo now, especially since we lost the Bonds of Ancestry line. And that is with the Aspect Tiger of Body and Chase the Tail. This is your main go-to damage output whenever you wanna present something to your opponent. And it basically, these 2 cards alone with a blue is presenting like 10, 12, 13 points of damage, because then you'll have yourself a tiger, especially when you transcend, of course. You'll be getting yourself a tiger. You see one of the, you search basically for one of these missing pieces right here, and then you go Tiger Taming Kakara, attack with this, then the tiger that you created from transcending and using Zen's effect, then you go like Chase the Tail, then you follow that up with Aspect, and then you attack with the other tiger. Again, this is like your main bread and butter just to present damage to your opponent. Besides that, most of the time when with Zen, you'll be just trying to poke or leak in damage here and there, which I could see why a lot of people say he's not as good, but to me it's like tickling him down until you present something like this. And one of those would be like Harmony of the Hunt. Again, running Harmony of the Hunt red just because of the fact that it's just a higher power and it creates a Crouching Tiger in hand. With 1 blue, you're basically presenting 3, 4, 5, 6 damage with Tiger Tame Kakara, and it's not like 6 upfront damage. This is like 6 on a spread, so it presents like awkward breakpoints to your opponent. They'll most likely either want to block Harmony of the Hunt or not with 1 card. The Kakara, they probably won't block it, and then the tiger, they probably won't block it either. So you're like leaking in technically like 3 damage, and that's all you kind of want to ask is that just give your opponent awkward block points. Now to replace, I guess you could say, the Art of War, we're running Head Leads the Tail, just because it's a 1 for 3 go again, but it also buffs whatever action card or attack action card that you name from head leads to tail. And normally you're just going to be naming Crouching Tiger, but I'm also tend to be naming 100 wins, which is what we're talking right here, because I'm running 600 wins, the reds and the blues, just because they're the easier head jabs that has the combo in the name. And for each consecutive 100 wins that you play, you're basically amping them by like 1 damage. So if you have like 200 wins, or even with the blues, they're presenting a lot more damage than just like a normal head jab or even a biting breeze. It also synergizes really well with, again, head leads the tail. If I just said 100 wins, they're all becoming for +1s, and then 1 more for each consecutive 100 wins. And since I'm running the 100 wins package, you know I'm also going to be running the Winds of Eternity, because it's a really good ender. It's a blue card, 3 block with a 2 power, and this 2 power right here, it's actually coming in for 4, especially with 100 wins. With this 2 power right here, it allows you to give it a buff from Tiger Stripe Shuko. So that's why I feel like it's a really good card. And in the long game, Winds of Eternity allows you to shuffle back all your 100 wins, so you don't lose any damage output if they don't block this. Again, the Winds of Eternity is a good way to ask your opponent, hey, you gotta block this, you know, or else I'll be recycling back my 100 wins and I'll still be presenting damage the longer the game goes. By only running 2 Molen Key, it's a good ender. It's a 1 for 5, but I feel like, to me, 2 Molen Keys actually works out pretty well. It's a good closer. It's a 1 for 5, plus 1 more damage if I control a Tiger. If I have 3, I would probably run it at 3, but at the moment I like 2 because there's another card that I want to show you in a minute that might be better than Molen Key in terms of a 1 for 5 damage. But it's a pretty good card. Speaking of which, I'm running Pouncing Key now in 3 reds only, because Pouncing Key is a 0 for 4. That's basically it. It's a 0 for 4. I know it says 0 for 3, but with a Tiger, especially when you transcend and you want to look for a card that you just want to like attack with without really relying on future combo stuff, Pouncing Key is a good like 2-3 card setup with a Tiger and this and a Kakara. But yeah, I run 3 of this. Next, I run the Spinning Wheel package. I run 3 reds, 2 blues. It's almost the same reason as the 100 wins. They're just a good like leg tap, just for the fact that it has a combo in its name, and for each, again, consecutive Spinning Wheel kicks, they will be coming in for an additional 1, and they also recycle themselves. So most of the cards that has combo in it that doesn't rely on Tigers, I'm just trying to have the ability to recycle themselves back into the deck. I feel like it's a good way to fight fatigue, because just the fact that they're coming back into the deck with a +1, it allows you to have more damage output. So again, Spinning Wheel Kick is doing the same thing as what 100 Wins is doing. Same thing with the blues. I'm only running 2 blues just because, again, I feel like since they are 1 cost, they're not as like flexible as the 100 Wins, but it's, again, same concept. And with the 2 power right here, it allows for, again, the Tiger Stripe Shuko to give a +1 if it is like the second, 2 or less space attack. That's the only reason I'm running 2 blues. Now, one of the secret sauce I'm putting in Zen, and I guess in this case in all the future ninja deck at the moment, would be Take the Tempo. Take the Tempo is actually a really good card. It allows you to, when you're attacking wide, even with just a basic Kakara, Tiger, and then follow up with Take the Tempo, it's asking for you to block it. And again, since most ninjas, in this case, don't really have an on hit, Take the Tempo is a really good on hit. Just for the fact that in the future turn, if it does hit, and it was like and I did attack 3 or more times this combat chain, it's saying that I'm gonna have a 5-card hand, even a 6-card hand if I have something to arsenal. If, of course, if it banishes an attack action, but just for the fact that it threatens the ability to have a 6-card hand next turn, it's kind of scary for your opponent, especially since you're a ninja player. Worst case scenario for Take the Tempo, with a blue, you're only presenting 7 points of damage from Kakara for 2, and then attacking with 5. Again, that's like 7 points of damage. And if they do block Take the Tempo for like with 1 block, you're presenting still another 3 points of damage. Oh, sorry, 2 from here, and if they block with a 3 power right here, you're presenting a 4 damage leak. You know, again, it's a 1 for 5, and hence why I'm only running 2 Molen Keys, because Take the Tempo I feel like is a better 1 for 5 at the moment, just because there's a higher upside. It's literally another Ancestral Harmony, but as a chain ender. And the next, in terms of the Tiger lines, or the Tiger combo lines, Tiger Swipe is a 0, basically usually coming in 0 for 4, sometimes 0 for 5 with an unpreventable damage due to Shuko, and again it creates another tiger in the follow-up, or it creates as many tigers as you want. This is another good, basically, Pouncing Key. I usually just use it for 0 for 4, sometimes 0 for 5 if the opponent just lets it through. And again, it's asking for you to, hey, block this or else I'm gonna keep going with my combo. So yes, again, that's like the bread and butter in terms of like my damage in Zen. And don't sleep on this, guys. Take the Tempo and Zen's actually pretty good. Next, a lot of people would say it's crazy to run this in this deck, Roar the Tiger, because it's really suboptimal or very like low power in terms of what Roar the Tiger is. In my opinion, the reason why I'm playing it, it's the way I view Roar the Tiger is that it's a 0 for 1 tiger. It's basically, imagine this: Roar the Tiger is a crouching tiger in your main deck that blocks for 3. Okay, you know how most crouching tigers don't block? This is literally a crouching tiger that blocks for 3, that comes in for 1 power. Think about that. Oh, and not just that, this crouching tiger buffs all your future crouching tigers in this turn. It's crazy. Reason for that is because it turns on most of your crouching tiger combo pieces, like Tiger Swipe, Pouncing Key, you know, Chase the Tails. All those can be turned on in terms of like their combo pieces just because of Roar the Tiger. And even if you just set this up and then with another Stride of Reprisal on your hand, this is literally 2 tigers with Chase the Tail on your like arsenal or whatnot. So again, to me, in terms of what it does, I'm just viewing it as that, because sometimes you do need a tiger in your hand without really blocking, or with like another, just basically another tiger to extend your combo if you're not blocking. You know, this is basically the other Art of War for your combo pieces. Again, it only relies on the tiger stuff, but it's fine. That's all I'm viewing it as. Worst case scenario, you block for 3. Next, another go off turn of a card is Ancestral Harmony. Like I said, with Take the Tempo, Ancestral Harmony allows you to extend your damage output by getting another card with combo in your name. See, the crazy thing is that Take the Tempo just asks it to be an attack action card. So it doesn't even have to rely on like combo. It could even be like, say, Head Leads the Tail or Harmony of the Hunt. But Ancestral Harmony relies on seeing the combo keyword. Sure, it has a lot more application because it's a starter and allows you to transcend early. But all I'm saying is that Ancestral Harmony and Take the Tempo are the same. You basically get 6 copies of this, or 6 copy of this, you know. Next, I'm gonna go over with my blues. Again, I'm playing most of the Mystic Instant cheat cards. The only one I'm really not playing is Drop in the Ocean, because that one is really hard to like trigger in terms of what Zen is trying to do. I'm not really running D reacts that are blues, or you know, sure, I could combo it with other like chi pieces, but at the same time I could also do it with all the other chi as well, you know. Hence why I'm not running that chi card. Everything else, so basically I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 chi instead of 9. Next, I'm playing with the Levels of Enlightenment right here. It's the best Mystic Action card ever printed. It's literally the E-Strike for blue. You know, it does a lot, and it's one of your main starter. If you would notice, I don't really have that many blue attack starters. I basically got 100 Winds, Levels, and Spinning Wheel Kick as my main blue attackers. and most of my blues that I will show you are like just extenders or combat enders. Speaking of which, I'm running Rowdy Locals as my sauce in Zen, just for the fact that it's a 0 blue that blocks for 3, and it's coming in for 2 power. Again, this 2 power right here is actually really relevant, especially with, of course, Tiger Stripe Shuko. I feel like Tiger Stripe Shuko at the moment is also like your main piece that you would rarely block last, just for the damage output. And since Zen doesn't really have a lot of on hits that's asking for your opponent to block, or at least presents something for your opponent to like think about, especially with this new meta coming up, I feel like a lot of aggro players will not block. You know, well, they don't block in general, or they rarely block in general, but Rowdy Locals allows you to literally tell your opponent, hey look, if you don't block this, or if this hits you, I'm gonna discard literally just my Crouching Tiger, and then you discard a card. Hence why I'm siding in more for Strider Reprisal, the Harmony of the Hunts, and even Roar the Tigers, just for the fact that I'm creating a tiger in my hand. That's also another application for Roar the Tiger, was for something like this, you know. Best case scenario too is that they fully block Rowdy Locals, and then you got a free tiger to arsenal. And having a tiger in your arsenal is actually pretty good in my opinion, just for the fact that it kind of turns on most of your, again, your tiger combo pieces. They kind of need to, because they tend to want to see a tiger, you know. Hence why I'm running Rowdy Locals. And then to round this off, I'm running the Wind Chakra, just because it's a good 0 cost, 3 power, you know. And I think I've already talked about Winds of Eternity, just because I'm running the 100 Winds line right here. But yeah, now let's go on to my sideboard. And to start things off, I'm running Command and Conquer on the side. This is just there because I feel like it's a good on hit as well, but I'm probably gonna side this into like decks that relies on like D-reacts, like the Earth Heroes or even Rangers. So this is like more of a side choice to put those into those type of decks, and for that I might even cut out the Rowdy Locals out for that, for CNC, just because I feel like they kind of do almost the same thing in terms of presenting like a good on hit, but this is more higher base power and it stops D-reacts. While on this one, it doesn't ask you to stop a D-react, but it's like a blue that it also allows you to stop Enigma by bringing Underground. Again, I could also just run Rowdy Locals and just put in 3 Command and Conquer and run a 63 deck. Anyways, I'm also siding in Flacks, just because it's a good D-react, and Oasis Respite for those doing a lot more arcane damage, which in this new set, in this new meta, the Rosetta meta, you're gonna need a lot of Oasis Respite just to prevent a lot of arcane damage. Even though you're running a lot of blues in this deck, you sometimes kind of wanna go over the board, especially with a Cilio that could like amp like 3 or 4. Yeah, Oasis Respite's really handy. I'm siding in my side deck, I'm siding in as well Key Unleashed, just because of Enigma. I'm running the yellow version instead of the blue because it gives it like an awkward breakpoint. And with the blue, it'll only be coming for like at most 6, because it's the +4 from here, and then the Shuko, while the yellow version is coming in for 7, which is again an awkward breakpoint for most decks, especially if it's unpreventable, you know. Hence why I'm running Key Unleashed on the side, just to go against Enigma. And in terms of like my other side, this is my arcane setup. I'm running the Arcane Lantern, the Tide Flippers, and then the Mask of the Pouncing Links. I could opt into like taking away 1 Oasis Respite or 1 Flacks for AB for the No Run Gloves, but at the time I was running it with like 1 Kodachi, 1 Zephyr Needle, because I wasn't so sure which dagger I want to run. This one at least doesn't break the Harmonizing Kodachi, but this one presents like a very interesting on hit. Like if you block with it, or if you block a card with it, it breaks, sure, but you're putting a 1 block here. The crazy thing is I feel like in this next meta I might just side out Zephyr Needle, just because if I'm facing against like an Acilio or something, I'm just gonna run Kodachi and use this as null rune, just because lightning decks now have electromagnetic shockwave or something, where if they block something like on Zephyr Needle is still gonna break, but if they play the instant speed card that bounces back that card to the hand at the end of the combat chain, you know, it's still like Zephyr Needle will break and they will still get back the card. So I feel like Zephyr Needle might not be worth it this meta. I might just go 2 Kodachis or 1 Kodachi and 1 Null Rune for those matchups. But anyway, all I'm saying is this is the deck I ran. I'm actually pretty comfortable with it just for how it plays. We'll see in the future meta if I'm gonna change a couple things here. I might, depending, you know. But in my opinion, this was what I took, and I got undefeated with it. So I'm happy with the result. If you guys want to try this deck out, it is in February. I put it in public, and that's the name right here. And just let me know how you feel about it. See and test it out. You could do some changes if you want to and whatnot. But that was what I went for. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching. In the future videos, I'm going to be presenting some gameplays with Zen. I'm also going to be presenting some gameplays with like Riptide next, and even Enigma. Those are like the three main decks I'm playing around with at the moment. And I'm going to even show you a couple of my deck lists for those as well if you guys are interested. But if you would like to support this channel, again, just hit that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and just to keep up to date on other videos I'm going to be posting in the future. And again, guys, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you guys see you guys next time, and yeah, peace.